How y'all doing? Back to another installment of the Enlightened Voice. I'm your host, Chris. How y'all doing? Um, I haven't made a video in probably like a couple weeks now. Been trying to like see where I want to go with the channel for the most part, but I feel like I'm gonna keep it more medical and I'm gonna keep it like I want to say just keep it more informational for y'all. I was thinking that I want to go kind of more like the not the recreational route, but just more informal. And I'm thinking that's not what I'm here for. A lot of people already do that, like with the like 2 gram dabs and shit like that. 3.5 and a blunt, things of that nature. So y'all really not looking for that much. Y'all not looking. Y'all got a bunch of shit that y'all can see like that. So for me, I want it to be more informational, more people check on my page because they're looking for information. So, first and foremost, Maryland patients, if you do not follow Culta on Instagram or Burner, January the 11th, we are getting Burners cookies. So California cookies, not Girl Scout cookies, the strain, but like I think Gary Payton, Gelati, and Cereal Milk was just 3 of the strains. So I'm really excited to try those. I honestly can't wait. I really want to go to Cali. I'm sorry for the blue tint on me too. I was playing video games, as y'all can see. Y'all know me. I'm a fucking gamer. But yeah. So we getting that come January the 11th, and I'm really excited for that. So shouts out to Burner and Colton situations. I'm definitely excited to see how y'all partnership pans out. This video probably won't be as long as my other videos. I don't have like the roll. I don't need to like sit down and roll. I'm gonna talk more about tinctures and topicals for the most part. I have 2 brands that I have been using for like the last couple of months, but I'll show you guys my favorite tincture. So let's talk first. Topicals. The think of topicals as they have lotion, so I won't say it all, but normally, like just to give you guys example. I'm sorry, words got stuck in my throat. Just to show you guys an example, this would be something, and to show you the consistency of how that looks, that's kind of how it looks. So I've had people come into dispensaries and they'll say things like, I'm looking for something to help my joint pain, I'm looking for something that's not going to get me high but help the pain. And if you go, of course, the flower or the budded form of cannabis does still help for pain and things of that nature, but some people have jobs where they get tested and they don't really want the THC to show up in their system at all. Even if you smoke a little bit, depending on if it's a hair follicle test or a piss test or a mouth swab, will greatly depend on how far they can go back or how deep they can test into your blood. So I do recommend the cannabis for the pain. It should take away the need for the opioids or like the Tylenols, especially if it's like someplace that you like on your body, not in more like a headache or things of that nature. So what I was about to say is it's more of a Vaseline consistency depending on the topical you get. I've only seen in Maryland Apothecana, I think is how you say it. I'm probably if I butchered that name. But Apothecana is more of a lotion base. It kind of seeps into the skin as a lotion does. Most topicals are, I'm not even gonna say most, but the topicals that I've had the experience with work more like a Vaseline. And if you don't understand how Vaseline works, it's kind of more of like a skin protectant. So Vaseline doesn't really seep into your skin or absorb directly into your skin as a lotion would. It's more of like just a light layer that sits on top to stop things from, I guess, getting into your pores and things of that nature. So topicals kind of work that same way. They won't fully rub in. I've had people come back and say, "Hey, this doesn't rub in all the way," or should I just be rubbing it until it's? And it's like, nah. Once you get it onto like a nice thin, you can. It's on there, but it's not like caked on there, or it's not like a bunch of stuff coming off of your hand after you use it. Then that's the target that you're looking for. This particular brand is what I like. Not so much this one. I only really got this one because it was a sample, and it's not that I don't like it. I just don't need the heat all the time. They do have other ones. My favorite one is the Relief, the regular one that doesn't have heat. They do have hot and cold, but my thing is, if you buy a product and you want it to be overall acceptable, you don't really need the heat all the time. Or let's say you get a burn and then now the heat's irritating it, those types of things. So I would much rather just go with the single Relief, but this is probably my favorite brand, the Synergy brand from Dixie. It works really well. It doesn't have the menthol in there as this other one does. You won't be able to see. This is Alexia. Oh yeah, Avexia. Sorry. And this one has the menthol, and I get why some people like it. My girlfriend, who is also a patient, she prefers this brand over my Synergy brand because of the cooling aspects of menthol. Like, kind of, if you wet your hand and blow on it, that's kind of how the menthol works, and so it kind of gives that cooling effect in the Avexia versus the Synergy. But I just feel like the Synergy packs more of a punch, but of course that's more personal experience, and how I personally feel about it. So if you have like any joint pain, some back pain, any pain that you want to attack but do not want to have THC in your body, I would highly recommend the Topicals. My older people who have never smoked or don't want to smoke, because vaping can help, and even CBD has trace amounts. Now, we say like if it has really, really low THC, that it usually won't show up in the test, but I've had people who are super paranoid about it, so they'd rather not smoke anything, or the lungs really can't take it, and they'd rather not just cough up a lung, or eat edibles, because it's as I explained in my last video, it's a much different high, and it's really hard to control and then some people, it's really hard to like pinpoint for the most part. And then some people just don't like eating things, especially with marijuana. It does not taste very good in the way that they're doing it. So, if I can be speaking plainly, it does not taste very good at all. Trying to think. Other than that, I want you guys to see the difference in the consistencies as well. It's going to be a little hard because we use this a little bit more, but if you can see, this is kind of like a more of a chunky, straight up situation. This one has more of a smoother feel to it. It's not it kind of like comes off more easily. It's not like in my Synergy, I kind of have to dig my hand into it, and it kind of just separates. It doesn't. This one comes out in clumps as if it was like Vaseline. I really do enjoy these, and I really do think topicals help. You can just apply it as needed. It's not, now, don't double coat it. I will say, don't, like, if it's not as effective, don't just sit there and slather more on. It's gonna get caught on the first layer, and then you're gonna be getting like maybe half or a third of the cannabinoids that you need, that your body should be absorbing from the topical. So in those regards, like I said, it's really geared towards joint pain, and kind of things of that nature. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't really get you stoned. You won't really get an effect off of it regardless. I have not used it for headaches. That's the only thing that I will say I'm kind of iffy about, because granted, the headache is in the head, but yet I don't think it's so much like if you rub it on there, it'll be good. But somebody can, drop in the comments or leave me a message, and I'll, tell me your experience with trying to use topicals for things like headaches, or like a stomach ache will be also another thing that I wouldn't be entirely sure if you just slap some topical on your stomach, will it hurt? It's more like the nerve. It's more like affecting your nerves. So when you throw this on there, it's kind of like blocking the nerve receptors. The same thing, the same way Tylenol does. So, um, other than that, on the other flip side of this, we have tinctures. Now, I enjoy tinctures. Tinctures will have THC, will put THC in your body. Unlike the topicals, tinctures you have to take sublingually. So you have, your little syringe. You have your numbers right there to be able to pinpoint exactly how much of the liquid, how many milliliters of the liquid you would want to take. We usually say start off at like the 0.25 is usually a the 0.25 is usually a micro dose, and then you have your 0.50, which would be a normal low dose, and then you would just go up from there. I've come to find out, as an avid smoker of the flower, to get a feeling that, and I'm ashamed to say this, I have tried it to get stoned to see the effect of it, and horrible experience. I'll explain that later. But so taking sublingually, it does give you a buzz depending on how strong the THC is in that particular tincture. I don't think they have the numbers on this one. If I'm not mistaken, this is a 3-to-1. So 3 parts CBD, 1 part THC, not really made to get you stoned or get you that feeling. But it'll relax you, more of like a CBD kind of high. Like more of just a relaxing euphoric wave, but not. I lost the word I was looking for. But not like getting stoned. You're not like inebriated for the most part. That's the word I was looking for. So this is one of the fastest ways to get it into your body, because what you'll do is like I said, take this, get as much liquid as you need, and hold it under your tongue. Experts say that you should hold it for 60 seconds. Me personally, I find this horrible because it depends on how it's made, but tinctures can either be made from coconut oil or alcohol. I haven't tried an alcohol tincture yet, just because I don't drink, so I was like, what's the point? I'm probably not gonna like it. But I heard alcohol burns a little more, or is just a little bit more intense. Think of like Listerine levels of burning, because it's still the alcohol that you're holding in your mouth. So coconut oil is my go-to if I'm gonna do a tincture, but even then, the weirdness of how like coconut oil feels in your mouth, just sitting in there while you're waiting for it to be absorbed, and just is off-putting to me for the most part. So I can't say I like to do the tincture as much, but it is one of the fastest ways, taking maybe 7 to 10 minutes to affect you once you have like taken it and swallowed the rest. I don't have a favorite brand when it comes to, this is my favorite one because it was so much. Granted, I got it as a sample again, but there was so much in here, and I liked it. I didn't think I would like cucumber peppermint, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be. So I enjoy this particular one. My favorite brand is Field Collection in tinctures, and the reason that Field Collection is my favorite brand, it gives you a lot of information on the box. A lot of tinctures only tell you, is it Field Collection? If I'm not mistaken, it's Field Collection, but I'll run back and I might put in my comments that was wrong. I got to do a little bit of remembering on that one, but no. I lied. I remember already. It's Liberty. Liberty is the tincture that I like the most, and it's only because the information that they give you on the back of it. I truly wish I had one, but I don't have one right now. It tells you the terpene values as well as it tells you the cannabinoidal values, but it also tells you the strain that went into the tincture. And this is by far the most important part to me, because if, like the Field Collection, like I just mentioned, they do not tell you the strain that goes into this. So it'll just be on the box, feel energized or feel dreamy or feel tired, or feel relaxed. And it'll have the cannabinoids and a little bit of information about the terpenes, but it does not tell you the strain that goes into it. And that is by far the best thing that you can do, because then I can, as a bud tender, as a customer, I can gauge whether I need this particular strain or not. Hey, I've tried Ghost OG. Ghost OG does something to me that I don't particularly like, so I won't want to try it in my tincture if I don't like it in bud form as well. That is one of the biggest aspects. And then we can pinpoint things like, okay, maybe Ghost OG doesn't fit well with you. Let's try Granddaddy Purple tincture, or let's see how you like Granddaddy Purple or Master Kush in your tincture. And then those things will, it will better explain or the ailments or the adverse effects that you've had and that you don't like. So I really commend Liberty on how they package their tinctures and the information that they give you behind it. But so story time. I wanted to test the theory. This particular one, I wanted to test the theory. Can you get stoned? No. Can you get stoned off of a CBD THC tincture? And that was because, of course, you can get stoned off of a straight THC tincture if it has no CBD in it. That the whole purpose of it is to be stoned. But so I took, and my usual dosage is about, just to give you guys some insight. So this is 1 milliliter right here. My usual dosage is about 2 or 3 of full of these. And that would usually give me the effect or take away the pain that I'm looking to take away. So what I did is I think I upped it to like 4 or 5. And I took those, and it did not agree with my stomach at all. It was like horrible, and I think the only reason that it was as bad as it was because I had taken so much, so it was so much liquid just sitting on my stomach and just sloshing around, but the CBD in the tincture was calming my stomach just enough to not want to throw it up, because for the whole time when I finally caught the effect of my stomach hurting, I was trying to induce throwing up, because I was like, all right, if I can just get this out of me, then I'll probably feel better before this experiment. But the hand down the throat method, the drinking a bunch of water, because they usually say if you like water induces throwing up if you drink too much. So I was trying to do that. Nothing was helping. So highly don't recommend using tinctures to get stoned, especially if you have bud or vapes available. But we'll say the effects do work. Like it would not let me get nauseous. I was nauseous, but it wouldn't let me throw up, no matter what I tried to do to get that thing, out of my fucking system, to get the liquid out of my system for the most part. But that's probably all we're going to talk about today. A nice little short video for us. Just to give you guys a little bit more information. I'll probably be trying to drop into the edibles game for y'all, because I know I made an edibles video, but I'm gonna do it like how I do. That's gonna be a little hard, honestly, though. Can't really sit on camera for 2 hours or 45 minutes just to show you guys the effect of the edibles. But I do want to show you like the packaging. I do want to show you how they label things, so you can go into the dispensaries with a more clear mind rather than get caught up in sales tactics or someone just trying to push a product because their boss told them to. So you guys have a wonderful day, though. This is the Enlightened Voice. I'm your host, Chris, and I hope you subscribe and comment and share this channel with all of your friends. We're really just trying to get all the information out there. Again, shouts out to Culta and Burner and Cookies for this big mergerment. Can't wait to see how that happens. You guys have a wonderful day, though.